The Witches.
In fairy tales, witches always wear silly black hats and black cloaks, and they ride on broomsticks.
But this is not a fairy tale.
No, this is about real witches.
That's right, real witches. Now, listen very carefully. Never forget what is coming next.
Real witches dress in ordinary clothes and look very much like ordinary women. They live in ordinary houses and they work in ordinary jobs.
That is why they are so hard to catch.
A real witch hates children with a red-hot, sizzling hatred that is more sizzling and red-hot than any hatred you could possibly imagine.
A real witch spends all her time plotting to get rid of the children in her particular territory.
One by one.
One by one.
She'll say to herself,
Which child? Exactly which child shall I choose for my next squelching?
Very carefully the victim is chosen.
Very carefully.
Then the witch stalks the wretched child like a hunter stalking a little bird in the forest.
She treads softly.
She moves quietly.
She gets closer and closer.
Then at last, when everything is ready,
She swoops.
fox fly,
Flames leap.
Oil boils.
brass hound,
Skin shrivels.
And the child disappears.
A real witch is easily the most dangerous of all the living creatures on earth.
What makes her doubly dangerous is the fact that she doesn't look dangerous.
Oh, no. You can never be quite sure whether it is a witch you're gazing at or just a kind lady.
How true. For all you know, a witch might be living next door to you right now.
Or she might be the woman with the bright eyes who sat opposite you on the bus this morning.
She might be the lady with the dazzling smile who offered you a sweet from a white paper bag in the street before lunch.
She might even be your lovely school teacher.
Yes. Look carefully at that teacher. Could she be a witch?
Just remember, a real witch gets the same pleasure from squelching a child as you get from eating a plateful of strawberries and thick cream.
One child a week she reckons on doing away with.
Anything less than that and she becomes grumpy.
One child a week is 52 a year. Squish them and squiggle them and make them disappear. One child a week is 52 a year. Squish them and squiggle them and make them disappear. One child a week is 52 a year. Squish them and squiggle them and make them disappear.
Oh, welcome, my dears.
Hello, Grandmamma.
Come here and hug your old grandmamma, darling. Oh, mwah. Another Christmas, who would believe it?
Comes round quickly, Mother.
Oh, come in, all of you, out of the cold.
After you, Grandmamma.
Oh, I am so happy to have the whole family together. We will have such a wonderful time. A wonderful time.
But that particular Christmas, when I was 7 and we were visiting my grandmother in Norway, we did not have a wonderful time. My mother and father and I were driving in icy weather just north of Oslo when our car skidded off the road and went tumbling down into a rocky ravine. I was firmly strapped into the back seat and received only a cut on the forehead. But my mother and father were killed.
There now. Just hug your grandmamma. Oh, Grandmamma is here. Shh, quiet. I won't leave you, darling. Grandmamma is here.
What are we going to do now?
You will stay here with me, of course, and I will look after you.
Aren't I going back to England?
No, I could never do that.
I adored my grandmother. She was wonderful. And she is, without doubt, the reason why I'm still here and able to speak to you about the things that happened to me around that time. Things that will probably make you scream when you hear them.
Witches, my dear grandson.
What, Grandmamma?
I wish to speak to you about witches.
Witches?
Norway is full of witches. And you won't last long in the world, my darling, if you don't know how to spot a witch when you see one.
Really?
Oh, yes. Now then, you must remember everything I tell you.
I'll try.
Try very hard. After that, all you can do is cross your heart and pray to heaven and hope for the best.
Right.
First, pass me another cigar. It helps me to remember. Thank you. Now, I have known no less than 5 children who have simply vanished off the face of this earth, never to be seen again. The witches took them.
How?
In every case, a strange lady was seen outside the house just before it happened.
Are you pulling my leg?
No, I am trying to make sure you don't go the same way. I love you, and I want you to stay with me. Would you like a puff of my cigar?
I'm only 7, Grandmamma.
I don't care what age you are. You'll never catch a cold if you smoke cigars. Oh, please yourself.
But Grandmamma, wasn't there a most tremendous fuss when this happened?
No. You must remember that here in Norway, we are used to that sort of thing. There are witches everywhere. There's probably one living in our street this very moment.
Never.
The question is, how do you recognize a witch when you see one?
Oh, Grandmamma, you're dropping ash everywhere.
No matter.
I don't want you to catch on fire before you've told me how to recognise a witch.
Well, in the first place, a real witch is certain always to be wearing gloves when you meet her. They wear gloves even in the house, summer and winter. They only take them off when they go to bed.
How do you know?
Don't interrupt. The second thing to remember is that a real witch is always bald.
Bald?
Bald as a boiled egg.
But if she's bald, she'll be easy to spot.
No, not at all. A real witch always wears a wig to hide her baldness. She wears a first-class wig. Mind you, these wigs do cause a rather serious problem for witches.
What problem, Grandmamma?
They make the scalp itch most terribly.
Horrible!
Wig rash, the witches call it.
And what else, Grandmamma? What else should I look for?
Nose holes. Look for the nose holes.
Nose holes?
Yes. Witches have slightly larger nose holes than ordinary people. A real witch has the most amazing powers of smell. She can actually smell out a child who is standing on the other side of the street on a pitch-black night.
Never!
True.
She couldn't smell me. I've just had a bath.
Oh, yes, she could. The cleaner you happen to be, the more smelly you are to a witch.
That can't be true.
An absolutely clean child gives off the most ghastly stench to a witch.
I shall never have a bath again.
Once a month is quite enough for a sensible child.
But what would I be smelling of? To a witch?
Dog's droppings.
Dog's droppings?
Fresh dog's droppings.
Oh, no! Not fresh ones.
The worst.
It's not true. I don't smell of dog's droppings. I can't.
There's no point in arguing about it. It's a fact of life. So, if you see a woman holding her nose as she passes you in the street, that woman could easily be a witch.
Goodness!
And of course, never forget that witches have no toes.
No toes?
They just have feet with square ends and no toes at all.
Oh, Grandmamma, I don't believe all this.
You must.
Grandmamma?
Yes.
When you were a little girl,
Yes.
did you ever meet a witch?
Once. Only once.
What happened?
I'm not going to tell you. No, it would frighten you out of your skin and give you bad dreams.
Please.
No. Certain things are too horrible to talk about.
Does it have something to do with your missing thumb?
Suddenly, her old wrinkled lips shut tight as a pair of tongs, and the hand that held the cigar, the hand which had no thumb on it, began to quiver very slightly. I waited. She didn't look at me. She didn't speak. All of a sudden she had shut herself off completely. The conversation was finished.
Good night, Grandmamma.
I kissed her on the cheek. She didn't move. So I crept out of the room and went to my bedroom.
But why are we going to England, Grandmamma?
A man has been to visit me with your father's will. In it says that although your family is Norwegian, you were born in England and you have started your education there, and your parents want you to continue going to English schools.
Oh, but Grandmamma, you don't want to go and live in our English house.
Of course I don't, but I'm afraid I must. So, your next school term begins in a few days, and we have no time to waste.
The next morning we sailed for England, and soon I was back in the old family house in Kent. Now, at the bottom of our garden there was an enormous conker tree, and high up in its branches my friend Timmy and I had started to build a tree house. One Saturday afternoon, when Timmy was in bed with flu, I decided to make a start on the roof all by myself. I worked away, nailing the first plank on the roof. Then suddenly, out of the corner of my eye, I caught sight of a woman standing immediately below me. She was looking up at me and smiling in the most peculiar way. Her lips went upwards and downwards, showing all her front teeth and gums. The gums were like raw meat. She was wearing a small black hat, and she had black gloves on her hands, and the gloves came nearly up to her elbows.
Gloves! He's wearing gloves!
Hello, boy.
Hello?
I have a present for you.
A present?
Yes, a present. Come down out of that tree, little boy, and I shall give you the most exciting present you've ever had. Come on, look. It's just in here, in my purse.
A snake!
It's perfectly tame. Watch how it coils itself round my arm. Have you ever seen such a beautiful green snake, boy?
I don't think so.
If you come down here, I'll give it to you.
Oh, Grandmamma, come and help me.
Don't climb any higher, boy. Come back. Come back down here, I say. Oh, come on, my dear. I can't see you now. You're hidden in the leaves. I'm waiting. I'm waiting to give you your present.
I stayed up there for hours, and I kept very still. It began to grow dark. At last, I heard a familiar voice.
Where are you? Where are you, grandson? Answer your grandmamma.
I'm up here. I'm at the top of the tree.
Come down at once. It's past your supper time.
Grandmamma, has that woman gone?
What woman?
The woman in the black gloves.
In black gloves?
Grandmamma, are you still there?
I'm here, my darling.
Has she gone?
Yes, she's gone. You can come down now. I'll look after you. Come on. There. Oh, you are trembling all over. Come, let me hug you. We'll go inside and you can tell me everything. It's all right.
Grandmamma,
Yes, darling.
I've seen a witch.
There aren't so many witches in England, you know. But even so, English witches are probably the most vicious in the whole world.
And I've seen one.
You have? There is one in our district, and from now on, you do not walk to school. Understand?
What do English witches do?
Well, their favourite ruse is to mix up a powder that will turn a child into some creature or other, like a slug or a flea.
You're making me nervous.
I've known English witches who have turned children into pheasants and then sneaked the pheasants up into the woods the very day before the pheasant shooting season opened.
So they'd get shot?
Of course. It gives English witches great pleasure to stand back and watch the grown-ups doing away with their own children. Pass me another cigar, and I will tell you something else. Thanks. Once a year, the witches of each separate country hold their own secret meeting. They all get together in one place to receive a lecture from the Grand High Witch of all the world. She is the ruler of them all. She is all-powerful. She is without mercy. All other witches are petrified of her. She goes to the annual meeting to whip up excitement and to give orders.
So the Grand High Witch travels from country to country, attending these meetings?
Quite right.
But where do they hold them?
Oh, they just book into a hotel like any other group of women who are holding a meeting.
Is the Grand High Witch very rich?
Oh, she's simply rolling in money. She prints her own banknotes and dishes them out to witches everywhere.
But Grandmamma, if nobody has seen the Grand High Witch, how can you be sure she exists?
Nobody has ever seen the devil, but we know he exists.
Hello.
Hello there. I'm Dr. Robertson. I've come to see your grandmother.
Yes, Doctor.
Is the nurse here?
She's upstairs with Grandmamma.
I'll go on up then.
Doctor?
Yes, lad?
Is Grandmamma going to be all right?
She has pneumonia. When a person is over 80, pneumonia can be dangerous.
But why isn't she in hospital?
It wouldn't be wise to move her in her condition.
Can I go in and see her?
Not at the moment.
Oh.
Try not to worry.
But we were going to go to Norway on holiday. Now Grandmamma won't be able to go.
No, dear. Let's just concentrate on getting her better. One step at a time, eh? At least you've got Mrs. Spring to look after you, and she's a jolly soul, isn't she?
Yes, Doctor.
Dr. Robertson visited regularly, and I kept asking him if she was getting better. All he would ever say was, "One step at a time, dear, one step at a time." Then, after about 10 days, he came downstairs with something approaching a smile on his face. She's been asking for you. You can go in and see her now.
Oh, thank you, Doctor.
But only for a short time, mind.
Yes, Doctor.
Don't tire her out.
No, Doctor. Grandmamma!
Come here, darling, and give your old Grandmamma a big hug.
Oh, careful, don't strangle her. She's had pneumonia.
Will you be all right now, Grandmamma?
The worst is over.
Don't speak too soon.
Oh, I'll soon be up again.
Yes, you'll be up again, all right. But you'll have to be careful.
Yes. Now, I have a present for you.
A present?
I asked Mrs. Spring to get it. It's over there by the wardrobe. It's covered with a towel.
You can have it later, lad.
No, now. He must have it now.
It's a cage.
Yes, but what's inside?
A cage? Oh, lordy me.
Can you see?
Whatever next?
2 white mice.
Pull yourself together, nurse.
Oh, they're lovely.
You like them?
Don't get them out.
I'll call them William and Mary.
Don't get them out. Doctor, don't let him get them out.
You get them out in your bedroom, lad.
You can teach them to do tricks.
They're lovely. I'll make them climb up the sleeve of my jacket and come out by my neck.
Yes.
Oh, Grandmamma, I do love you.
And any day now I'll be up and about.
But you must take it easy.
And no more cigars.
Yes. Don't fuss me.
Does that mean we can go to Norway?
No, lad, no going to Norway this year.
Rubbish! Rubbish! I've promised him we'll go.
It's too far.
Rubbish!
It would be very dangerous.
Oh, please!
Do you want your grandmother to die?
Never!
Then listen to the doctor.
She's not yet strong enough to go on a long journey.
And do stop her smoking those vile black cigars.
Oh, so much rubbish is spoken.
Now listen here. You can take your grandson to a nice hotel on the south coast of England instead. Bournemouth. Just the job. The sea air is exactly what you need. It'll do you the power of good.
Welcome to Bournemouth's Hotel Magnificent. Situated on the front of this charming seaside town, the Hotel Magnificent has everything to offer the more mature holidaymaker. Enjoy the marvellous sea views, the bracing air, wholesome food and delightful company. Hairdressing, aerobics and conference facilities are also available. Please telephone for details.
Hotel Magnificent, how can I help you?
Hotel Magnificent?
Oh, yes. Oh, fully equipped, madam.
Look, I twisted the
Yes.
knob as it says, and nothing
One
came out
minute.
of it at all.
We're very
Nothing
sorry
at
to
all.
be twisting it
Look,
the
I
wrong
had
way.
soap
There
all
we are,
over.
madam. Two adjoining
I'll get
rooms.
one of the maids.
First floor, turn right at the top of the stairs. The porter will take your bags.
Thank you.
Super. If you just sign the book.
Very well.
Super. Please feel free to make full use of all the hotel has to offer, madam. Breakfast is served between 7:30 and 9 o'clock.
Hotel
and dinner will be-
Magnificent, can I help you? Can you hold the line, please?
Mr. Stringer, come here, there's a mouse!
Calm down, please. Ladies and gentlemen, now, please. What appears to be the problem?
There's a mouse, Mr. Stringer. That boy's got a mouse.
I cannot permit mice in my hotel, madam.
How dare you say that when your rotten hotel is full of rats anyway?
Rats! There are no rats in this hotel.
I saw one just now running down the corridor into the kitchen.
That is not true. Now calm down, please, everyone, please.
You had better get the rat catcher in at once before I report you to the public health authorities.
Now, please keep calm, everyone.
I expect there's a rat scuttling all over the kitchen floor and stealing the food off the shelves and jumping in and out of the soup.
Never.
If you're not careful, the health people will be ordering the entire hotel to be closed before everyone gets typhoid fever.
You are not being serious, madam.
I was never more serious in my life.
But,
Are you or are you not going to let my grandson keep his white mice in his room?
Well, I...
Come on,
What I mean to say
Give me an answer, man.
Go on. May I suggest a compromise?
Suggest the way.
I will permit him to keep them in his room as long as they are never allowed out of the cage. How's that?
That will suit us very well.
The first mouse to break the rules will be drowned in a bucket.
Come on, darling. This way.
And another thing. One towel between two. I don't care if he's been busy or not. I paid my full...
Hotel Magnificent, can I help you? Can you hold the line, please?
Once my mice were safely in my room, I started to explore the hotel. And later that day I came across a boy playing in the gardens. He was kneeling on the flagstones with a magnifying glass.
Hello,
Hello?
I'm Bruno. Are you staying here?
Yes.
Me too. My dad's really rich. He's got 3 cars.
Wow!
How many cars has your dad got?
I haven't got a dad.
Oh. Does that mean you haven't got a car?
Yes.
Want a bit of cake?
No thanks.
It's my 5th bit of cake today. And I've had 3 packets of crisps, a bag of sweets, and 4 ice creams.
Really?
Hey, see this magnifying glass?
Yes.
And see this column of ants on the path?
Yes.
Watch this trick.
What are you doing?
I'm focusing the sun through the magnifying glass. and roasting the ants one by one.
That's horrible!
No, it's not. It's great fun.
Stop it!
No, I like watching them burn.
It's terrible!
Just you stop me.
At that point, I pushed Bruno with all my might, and he crashed sideways onto the flagstones. His magnifying glass splintered into many pieces, and he leapt up, shrieking.
My father's gonna get you for this!
Now, there is no way you can train mice inside a cage. Yet I dared not let them out because the chambermaids were spying on me all the time. I decided to come up with a safer place where I could carry on with the training. There must surely be an empty room in this enormous hotel. I put one mouse into each trouser pocket and wandered downstairs in search of a secret spot. I went through the lounge, the smoking room, the card room, the reading room and the drawing room, and none of them was empty. Then, down a long corridor, I found the ballroom. A notice read, RSPCC meeting, strictly private. This room is reserved for the annual meeting of the Royal Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children.
Wow, what a room! Gold chairs, eh? We'll be all right in here, William and Mary. The meeting must be over. Cool! Look at this Chinese screen. Bet you can't wait to run up that, Mary. Let's go behind it to do our training.
Now then, ladies, this way. Move along now. I do hope you'll be happy with our ballroom for your meeting.
What's it like?
Oh, it's a perfectly delightful room with plenty of sun.
Have the chairs all been set out?
Oh, yes, madam. All the chairs have been set out facing the platform. Thank you. Now, if there is anything we can do for you, do not hesitate to let me know. Tea will be served for all of you on the Sunshine Terrace after you have concluded your meeting.
It's the Royal Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children. Cool. Look at their fancy hats.
Come and sit next to me, dear.
Oh, hello, Beatrice. I haven't seen you since the last meeting. How are you?
Blake's playing your... Oh, Gloria, what a marvellous frock.
Sybil, I've saved your seat. Sybil, oh, please yourself then.
I don't think Maureen should be wearing them horizontal stripes. Oh, look at Monica's hat.
What a crowd, eh, William? Look at that one there, in the little green hat, scratching the back of her neck. Ooh, and that one next door, and the next one. They're all scratching. Perhaps they've got nits.
I say, my scalp's giving me jips.
Oh, mine too.
Never been so itchy.
It's driving me mad. There's nothing for it. I'll have to have a scratch underneath. That's lovely.
Oh, goodness. Do you see that, Mary? That lady's pushing her fingers up underneath her hair to scratch her head.
That's better now. Oh, there, that's better.
She's wearing a wig.
I could do that all morning.
I thought I was going to die of itching in the supermarket.
And she's wearing gloves. Oh, William, they're all wearing gloves. Every one of them.
My blood turned to ice. I began to shake all over. Should I leap out from behind the screen and make a dash for the double doors? Those double doors were already closed, and I could see a woman standing in front of them. She was bending forward and fixing some sort of a metal chain round the two door handles. Rather shakily, I got to my knees and peered once again through the crack.
Oh, my word, isn't she marvellous? Oh, yes. Be quiet. Shh. So young. Wonderful. Oh, what posture. Oh, shaking up. Oh, she's going to take her face off.
Wow, she's taking her mask off. She's wearing a mask. Oh, it's horrible.
The face I saw was the most frightful and frightening thing I have ever seen. I could see the skin all cankered and worm-eaten, as though maggots were working away in there.
Quiet!
The doors. Are they chained and bolted?
Oh, yes,
That's good. Quiet! You may remove your gloves.
Oh, look! They've all got claws.
Nice talents, Sheila.
They're falsies. They must be falsies.
They are not a good myself.
Quiet! You may remove your shoes.
Oh, your feet hung a bit, Elsie. Can't help that. They've been squeezed into these stilettos all day.
Not a toe amongst them. It's revolting.
Quiet now! You may remove your wigs. Remove your wigs and get some fresh air into your spotty scalps.
Thank heavens for that.
I couldn't have lasted much longer, could you, Lavinia? Oh, it's worse than the scurvy.
Worse than the chicken
Oh,
pox.
how disgusting. And they're all child killers, every one. And I can't escape. I'm here and I can't escape.
Listen now! Quiet! Witches of England! Witches of England! Miserable witches! Useless, lazy witches! Feeble, dribbling witches! You are a heap of idle, good-for-nothing worms!
Oh, I never thought we were a bit
Quietly! Quiet! I am having my breakfast this morning, and I'm looking out of the window at the beach. And what am I seeing? I'm asking you, what am I seeing? I am seeing thousands of rotten, repulsive little children playing on the sand. It is putting me right off my food. Why have you not rubbed them all out? These filthy, smelly children.
Oh, help! Any minute now, she's going to smell me. Dog's dropping.
Yes, I'm asking you why. Children smell.
But I haven't had a bath for ages.
Children stink out the world. We do not want these children around here. One child a week. Listen to me. One child a week is no good to me. Is that the best you can do?
Oh, well, I'm sure we can do better if you give us a bit more time.
Better! Better is no good either. I demand maximum results. Quiet! So, here are my orders.
Yes.
My orders are that every single child in this country shall be rubbed out, squashed, squirted, squirted, and fretted before I come here again in 1 year's time. Do I make myself clear?
We can't possibly wipe out all of them.
Who said that? Who dares to argue with me? It was you, was it not?
I didn't mean it, Your Grandness. I didn't mean to argue. I was just talking to myself.
You dared to argue with me.
No. I was just talking to myself. I swear it, Your Grandness.
This is for it.
Sounds so right.
A stupid witch who answers back must burn until her bones are black.
A stupid witch who answers back must burn until her bones are black.
No, please, no.
A foolish witch without a brain must sizzle in the fiery flame.
A foolish witch without a brain must sizzle in the fiery flame.
An idiotic witch like you must roast upon the barbecue.
An idiotic witch like you must roast upon the barbecue.
Oh, forgive me. Oh, Your Grandness, I didn't mean it.
A witch who dares to say I'm wrong will not be with us very long.
A witch who dares to say I'm wrong will not be with us very long.
Frizzled like a fritter, cooked like a carrot. You will never see her again.
She's gone!
Something wispy white fluttering out the window.
Must be her, must be Gladys. Oh, I say.
I hope nobody else is going to make me cross today. Good, good. Now we can get down to business. Children are revolting. We will wipe them all away. We will scrub them off the face of the earth.
Yes!
We will flush them down the drain. Children are foul and filthy. Children are dirty and stinky. Children are smelling of dog droppings. No, they are worse than dog droppings. Dog's droppings is smelling like violets and primroses compared with children. Oh, to talk about children is making me sick. Oh, I'm feeling sick even thinking about them. Oh, fetch me a basin.
Oh, yes. Dory Mason, run for the basin. Hasten,
Dory
Oh, me? Yeah, go along with you. Come on.
So now. So now I am having a plan. I am having a gigantic plan for getting rid of every single child in the whole of England. Every child, yes. We shall swish them and swallow them, and we shall make them to disappear. Every single smelly little brat in England in one stroke. Shut up and listen. Listen very carefully. And let us not be having any muck-ups. Quiet. Each and every one of you is to go back to your hometowns immediately and resign from your jobs. Resign, yes, resign. Give notice. Retire. Good. And after you have resigned from your jobs, each and every one of you will be going out and you will be buying. You will be buying sweet shops. Each of you will be buying for herself a sweet shop. You will be buying the very best and most respectable sweet shops in England. I am wanting no tuppenny, halfpenny, crammy little tobacco-selling newspaper sweet shops. No. I am wanting you to get only the very best shops, filled up high with piles and piles of luscious sweets and tasty chops. That's right! You will be having no trouble in getting what you want because you will offer 4 times as much as a shop is worth. And nobody is refusing an offer like that. And what is more, I have brought with me 6 trunks stuffed full of English banknotes, all new and crisp, and all of them homemade.
Oh, the children will come flocking to my shop, and I'll feed them poison sweets and poison chocks and wipe them all out like weasels.
Who spoke?
It was over there. It was Vivien. Sit down, Lavinia. Don't get so overexcited.
You blithering bumpkin. You brainless bog vamper.
Oh, you grand tiny.
Are you not realizing that if you are going around poisoning little children, you will be caught in 5 minutes flat?
I'm sorry, it was so stupid of me.
Never in my life am I hearing such a bush-walloping suggestion coming from a witch.
I'm so sorry. I'm really so sorry.
If such a dumb-fiddling idea is all you can be coming up with, then it is no wonder England is still swarming with rotten little children.
Oh, you're absolutely right, your grand.
Do you not know that we witches are working only with magic? So, each of you is owning a magnificent sweet shop. The next move is that each of you will be announcing in the window of your shop that on a certain day you will be having a great gala opening with free sweets and chocks to every child.
That will bring them in, the greedy little brutes, fighting to get through the doors.
Next, listen to me. You will prepare yourselves for this great gala opening by filling every choc and every sweet in your shop with my very latest and greatest magic formula. This is known as Formula 86 Delayed Action Mouse Maker.
Grandness has concocted yet another of her wondrous magic child killer.
How do we make it our brilliant one?
Exercise patience. First, I'm explaining to you how my Formula 86 Delayed Action Mouse Maker is working.
Yes.
Listen. Listen carefully. Then shut up. Delayed Action Mouse Maker is a green liquid, and 1 droplet in each choc or sweet will be quite enough. So listen, here's what happens. Child eats chocks which has in it delayed action mouse maker liquid.
Yes.
Child goes home feeling fine.
Yes.
Child goes to bed still feeling fine.
Yes.
Child wakes up in the morning still okay.
Yes.
Child goes to school still feeling fine.
Yes.
Formula is delayed action and is not working yet.
We understand. But when does it start working?
It is starting to work at exactly 9 o'clock when the child is arriving at school. Yes, now listen. Child arrives at school. Delayed action mouse maker immediately starts to work. Child starts to shrink. Child is starting to grow fur. Child is starting to grow tail. All is happening in precisely 26 seconds. After 26 seconds, child is not a child any longer. It is a mouse. And what is happening next in this school? Mousetraps is coming out! And cheese! Teachers is all rushing and running out getting mousetraps and baiting them with cheese. Mice is nibbling cheese. Mousetraps is going Karpf. All over England, in every school in England, noise of snapping mousetraps will be heard.
Marvellous!
Down with children, do them in. Boil their bones and fry their skin. Bish 'em, squish 'em, bash 'em, mash 'em, break 'em, shake 'em, slash 'em, smash 'em, bish 'em, squish 'em, bash 'em, mash 'em, break 'em, shake 'em, slash 'em, smash 'em!
Yes!
Offer chokes with magic powder. Say it up, then say it louder. Cram them full of sticky eats, send them home still guzzling sweets, and in the morning little fools go marching off to separate schools. A girl feels sick and goes all pale. She yells, "Hey, look, I've grown a tail." A boy who's standing next to her screams, "Help, I think I'm growing fur." Another shouts, "We look like freaks, there's whiskers growing on our cheeks." 4 tiny legs begin to sprout from everybody round about. And all at once, only the trace, there are no children, only mice. In every school is mice galore, all running round the schoolroom floor. And all the poor demented teachers is yelling, "Hey, who are these creatures?" They stand upon the desks and shout, "Get out! You filthy mice, get out!" Will someone fetch some mousetraps, please? And don't forget to bring the cheese. Now mousetraps come and every trap goes slippery slip and slippery step. The mousetraps have a powerful spring. The springs will crack and snap and ping. His lovely noise for us to hear. His music to a witch's ear. Dead mice is every place around, piled 2 feet deep upon the ground. With teachers searching left and right, but not a single child in sight. The teachers cry, "What's going on? Oh, where have all the children gone?" It's 9:30, and as a rule, they're never late as this for school. But teachers don't know what to do. Some sit and read, and just a few amuse themselves throughout the day by sweeping all the mice away. And all us witches shout, "Hooray!" Down with children, do them in. Boil their bones and fry their skin. Bish 'em, squish 'em, bash 'em, smash 'em, break 'em, shake 'em, slash 'em, smash 'em. Bish 'em, squish 'em, bash 'em, mash 'em, break 'em, shake 'em, slash 'em, smash 'em! Attention! I am going to tell you how to use Formula 86 Delayed Action Mouse Maker.
Up on the chair! What is it?
It's mice! She's done it to show us!
The brainy one has turned 2 children into mice, and there they are!
Oh no! I don't believe it! It's William and Mary!
Our leader has made mice appear out of nowhere!
Quiet! These mice are nothing to do with me. These mice are pet mice. These mice are quite obviously belonging to some repellent little child in the hotel. A boy it will be for a certainty, because girls are not keeping pet mice.
We'll swipe him. We'll swizzle him. We'll have his tribes for breakfast.
Silence! Let us by all means get rid of this evil-smelling little squirt. But we must do it as quietly as possible. For are we not all of us the most respectable ladies of the Royal Society for the prevention of cruelty to children?
Oh no, I'm done for. I don't know what to do.
Leave him to me. I shall smell him out and turn him into a mackerel.
A mackerel?
Cut his head off and chop off his tail.
Listen, bitches! I will give you the recipe for concocting Formula 86 Delayed Action Mouse Maker. All you have to do, if you are wishing to make a child very small, is to look at him through the wrong end of a telescope. So, listen, you take the wrong end of a telescope and you boil it up until it gets soft. Then you take 45 brown mice and you chop off their tails with a carving knife and you fry the tails until they are nice and crisp.
What do we do with all those mice who've had their tails chopped off? Yes,
Quiet, listen. You simmer them in frog juice for 1 hour. But listen to me, listen. Next, you need something that can be eaten on a certain day, but which will not start working until 9 o'clock the next morning. Yes, the delayed action.
What did you come up with, your grandness?
The secret is an alarm clock. One clock will make enough for 1,000 children. You roast it in the oven until it is crisp. Are you writing this down? Then you put it all into the mixer. Add a grunter's egg.
Does that mean we have to climb a gruntle tree?
Of course it does, Doreen.
Well, I'm not sure I'm up to it.
The clover crab cruncher.
It's me arthritis, you know.
The beak of a blabbersnitch. The snout of a grobble squirt. And the tongue of a cat springer. Settle down. Now you will learn how to use Formula 86 Delayed Action Mouse Maker. Put 1 drop onto a chalk or a sweet, and at 9 o'clock the next morning, the child who ate it will turn into a mouse in 26 seconds. But one word of warning. Never increase the dose. And never give more than 1 sweet to each child. An overdose will cause the child to turn into a mouse too early. You would want the children turning into mice right there in your sweet shops. No. To prove to you that it works, yesterday I'm putting 1 droplet into a chalk bar, and I'm giving this to a repulsive, smelly little boy who's hanging around the lobby of the hotel. Don't forget that before I'm roasting the alarm clock, I'm setting it for 3:30 today. I told him to come to the ballroom for more chalk at 3:25 this afternoon. So, the stage is set. Put on your wigs, put on your gloves, put on your shoes. I do put on my mask like so, because the nasty little stinker who will be turning into a mouse in 5 minutes' time should at this very moment be standing outside the door.
as you promised me.
He's not only smelly, he's also greedy.
Oh, yes? Especially boys, they're clumsy.
Remove the chains from the doors and let him come in.
I'll do it. Oh, well done, Ethel.
Why, hello, little man.
Hello.
You've come for your chocolate bars, have you not?
That's right.
Oh, they're all ready for you.
Oh, goody.
Do come in.
It's Bruno, that horrid boy.
Darling boy, I have your chocolates all ready for you.
Well, hand them over then.
The time is now 1 minute before 3:30.
What the heck's going on? What is this? Give me my chocolate.
30 seconds to go. Come here, little boy.
Ouch! What are you doing?
15 seconds.
Well, one of you crazy punks kindly tell me what all this is about.
10 seconds.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Help! Help!
The mouse maker's beginning to work. This smelly breath, this filthy scum, this horrid little louse will very, very soon become a lovely little mouse.
This smelly brat, this filthy scum, this horrid little louse will very, very soon become a lovely little mouse. This smelly brat, this filthy scum, this horrid little louse will very, very soon become a lovely little mouse. Oh, look, all his clothes have gone.
He's got a tail.
He's got whiskers. He's got 4 feet.
It's a mouse. It's running across the people of Rome. He's done it. It's a mouse.
You are a miracle, oh, brainy one.
And now for the trap.
Run, Bruno, run!
He's running off. Catch him.
He's gone.
Oh, no.
Oh, it matters not. Silence, silence. Sit down. Sit down. Someone will catch him. It's 6 o'clock tonight. Those witches who are too old to climb trees after Gruntle's eggs will report to my room, number 454, to receive 2 bottles each of Mouse Maker.
Thank you. Most grateful. Most grateful, your kindness.
I don't think I could manage the tree. It's me knee, you know. Gives me...
I have one question, oh brainy one.
What now?
What happens if one of the chocolates we're giving away in our shops gets eaten by a grown-up?
It's just too bad for the grown-up. The meeting is over. Out you go. Out you go! Go out!
What is it, Mildred, dear?
She's as white as a sheet.
Hold everything.
Mind you, she's never got much colour.
Good heavens, she's having a fit.
Oh, what's the matter, Mildred?
Dogs. Droppings.
What? Dog droppings?
Just then I got a whiff of dogs. Droppings.
Yes. Can you smell them all?
Yes, I can. Smell. Oh,
Yes.
Nasty. Not. There couldn't be.
Yes, there it is again. It's not strong, but it's there.
It's there, all right.
It's not too far away.
What is going on down there?
Oh, Mildred's just got a whiff of dog's droppings, your grandness.
What rubbish is this? She has dog droppings on the brain. There are no children in this room.
Hang on, everybody. Don't move. I'm getting it again.
What's
No, look at her nose now. They're going somewhere.
It's getting stronger. It's hitting me harder now.
Oh, dear.
Can't the rest of you smell it?
She's right.
She's right. She's absolutely
Yes,
right.
dog's droppings it is, or I'll eat me at.
Find it! Track it down! Rootle it out! Follow your noses till you get it!
Help! Help! They're going to get me now. Whatever can I do?
Don't let this small lump of dust. Don't let it escape. If it is in here, it has observed the most secret things. It must be exterminated immediately.
I'm finished. I'm done for. There's no escape for me now. Oh, Grandmamma, what are they going to do to me?
Here, it's behind the screen. Come and get it. Doreen's got it.
Ow! Let go of my hair!
She's got away.
Catch it then, you idiots. Spread out in a line across the room and close in on it and grab it. Corner this filthy little gumboil and seize it and bring it up here to me.
You go that way, Eileen, go that way. Listen, you go the other way, the other way. We've cornered him, you granus.
Help!
Stop him screaming! Put your hand over his mouth. Bring it here. Bring the spying little worm up here to me.
Here he comes. We got him. Here he is.
So, shall I give him a little drop of the Formula 86 delayed action mouse maker? Quiet! So, I will pinch his nose like so. Ow! So his mouth opens and I will pour the entire contents of the bottle down the little worm's throat. Put your hand over his mouth.
I felt as though a kettle full of boiling water had been poured into my mouth. Then the scorching feeling spread down into my arms and legs and all over my body. Then my skin began to tighten. It was shrinking all over me from the top of my head to the tips of my fingers to the ends of my toes. Then the squeezing began. This time I was inside a suit of iron and somebody was turning a screw. After that, there came a fierce prickling sensation all over my skin, as though tiny needles were forcing their way out through the surface. And I realize now this was the growing of the mouse fur.
500 doses. The stinking little carbuncle has had 500 doses, and the alarm clock has been smashed. And now we are having instantaneous action.
I heard clapping and cheering, and I remember thinking, I'm not myself any longer. I've gone clear out of my own skin. I noticed that the floor was only an inch from my nose. I noticed also a pair of little furry front paws resting on the floor. I was able to move those paws. They were mine. At that moment, I realized that I was not a little boy any longer. I was a mouse.
Now for the mousetrap. I've got it right here, and here is a piece of cheese.
But I wasn't going to wait for that. I was off across the platform like a streak of lightning. I was astonished at my own speed. I leapt over Witch's feet, and in no time at all I was down the steps and onto the floor of the ballroom itself and skittering off among the rows of chairs. I squeezed up against the back leg of a chair and kept very still.
Leave the little stinkpot alone. It is not worth bothering about. It is only a mouse now. Somebody else will soon catch it. Let us get out of here. The meeting is over. Unlock the doors and shove off to the Sunshine Terrace to have tea with that idiotic manager.
I peeped round the leg of the chair and watched the hundreds of witches' feet walking through the doors of the ballroom.
Bruno! Bruno!
I got the shock of my life when I heard my own voice. My own perfectly normal, rather loud voice coming out of my mouth, even though I was a mouse.
Bruno Jenkins, where are you? If you can hear me, give a shout. Bruno! Bruno!
I pottered about trying to get used to being so close to the ground. You're probably wondering why I wasn't depressed at all. I found myself thinking, what's so wonderful about being a little boy anyway? Little boys have to go to school. Mice don't. Mice don't have to pass exams. Mice, as far as I can see, have only two enemies, humans and cats. Mice don't have to worry about money. My grandmother is a human, but I know for certain that she will always love me, whoever I am. When mice grow up, they don't ever have to go to war and fight against other mice. Mice all like each other.
Oh, there he is! That mouse must be Bruno. He's eating. Hello, Bruno. What have you found?
It's a fish paste sandwich. One of them dropped it. Pretty good.
Listen, Bruno. Now that we are both mice, I think we ought to start thinking a bit about the future.
The fact that you're a mouse has nothing to do with me.
But you're a mouse too, Bruno.
Don't be a fool. I'm not a mouse.
I'm afraid you are. Don't you know what's happened to you?
What on earth are you talking about?
Bruno, not very long ago, the witches turned you into a mouse. Then they did it to me.
You're lying.
Nope. If you hadn't been so busy guzzling that sandwich, you would have noticed your hairy paws. Take a look at them.
Ah! Good grief! I am a mouse. No, I don't want to be a mouse. I refuse to be a mouse. I'm Bruno Jenkins.
Calm down. Just calm down. Your biggest problem at the moment is your parents. How are they going to take this?
I think my father's going to be a bit put out.
And your mother?
My mother's terrified of mice.
Then you've got a problem.
Well, what about you?
My grandmother will understand perfectly. She knows all about witches.
Oh?
Let's go and find her. She'll know exactly what to do. Come on, let's move towards the doors. Then when we get into the corridor, we'll run like mad.
Can't I finish my sandwich first?
No! Here goes. Keep behind me.
As soon as I was out of the ballroom, I took off like a flash. Up the stairs I went, jumping quite easily from one to the other.
Are you with me, Bruno?
Right here.
On the 5th floor, I raced along the corridor to my grandmother's room. A pair of shoes was standing outside the door to be cleaned. Bruno was alongside me.
What do we do now?
Oh, no! Look, here comes the chambermaid. Quick, jump in the shoes. If she picks them up, I'll bite her.
Oh, not another pair of shoes to clean.
What on earth is going on out here?
Quick, Bruno! Dive between her legs and run for the bedroom. Close the door, Grandmamma. Hurry!
Goodness me! Mice!
It's me, Grandmamma. Please close the door.
Oh!
You've gone so pale, Grandmamma. I'm fine. Honest. Please close the door. Grandmamma, you're shaking. You're shaking all over. Oh, don't cry. Please don't cry. I'm still alive. I did get away from them.
Oh, come here, darling. Let me hold you. Oh, my poor sweet darling. What have they done to you?
I know what they've done, and I don't feel bad about it. I won't ever be a boy again, but it'll be quite all right, as long as there's always you to look after me.
Of course I'll look after you. Who is the other one? The one in the bowl of bananas?
That's Bruno Jenkins. He eats everything.
I think a little cigar might calm me down a bit. Then you can tell me the whole story.
So I began, and soon my grandmother knew every detail of the past few hours of my life. When I had finished the story, we sat in silence for a few moments. She went on stroking me and puffing her cigar. I was thinking like mad. My brain was whizzing as it had never whizzed before.
Grandmamma?
Hmm?
I have a bit of an idea.
Yes, my darling. What is it?
The Grand High Witch told me her room was number 454.
Right.
Well, my room is number 554. Don't you think it's possible that her room is directly underneath mine?
It is very possible.
Would you take me out onto the balcony so I can look down?
Of course. Come along now. What little plan are you brewing up, I wonder? Clever for a mouse, huh? Here we are.
Now, if that is her room, then I bet I could climb down there somehow and get it.
I won't allow it.
But, Grandmamma, all the witches are on the Sunshine Terrace having tea. She probably won't be back until 6 o'clock, when she's going to dish out supplies of the formula to the ancient ones.
So, What do you plan to do in her room exactly?
Well, if I could steal 1 bottle of delayed action mouse maker and bring it here, we could give every witch down there a double dose at least. We could turn them all into mice.
What an idea. It's fantastic. You're a genius, darling.
Wouldn't it be something?
We'd get rid of every witch in England in one swoop. And the Grand High Witch into the bargain. Now then, how to get you down there? Let me think. Aha! My knitting. I will put you in this half-knitted sock and lower you down onto her balcony. Quick, quick! No time to lose.
Down I went in my grandmother's sock until I reached the lower balcony. I jumped out and ran into the Grand High Witch's bedroom. There was no sign anywhere that the room was inhabited by anyone but an ordinary person. But then no witch would be stupid enough to leave anything suspicious lying around.
Hurry up! Grab the stuff and get out!
This was all very well, but where would the stuff be? I couldn't open any doors or drawers. I sat in the middle of the floor and had a think. Where would the Grand High Witch hide something top secret? Hey, I thought, what about under the mattress? I jumped onto the bed and was scrabbling about under the mattress when my head suddenly hit something hard. A bottle! This was it! It was sewn inside the mattress. Luckily, my front teeth were extremely sharp, so it didn't take long to make a small hole. I climbed in and grabbed the bottle by the neck. Dragging it behind me, I reached the edge of the mattress. I rolled it off the bed onto the carpet. Then I jumped down. Suddenly I heard a curious croaking sound, and 3 frogs appeared, hopping out from under the bed. They stared at me with large black eyes. It suddenly occurred to me that once upon a time they had been children.
Who are you? Do you have names? Can you talk? Oh no! She's coming! Quick! Under the bed! All of us!
Where are you, my little froggies? Cry! Are you hiding from me? Ah, there you are. You can stay there until I go to bed tonight, and then I shall throw you out of the window, and the seagulls can have you for supper.
Hurry up, my darling. Come on. You must come quickly.
Who is calling? Who is on my balcony? Who is it? Who dares to trespass on my balcony? What is this knitting wool hanging down here?
Oh, hello. Oh. I just dropped my knitting over the balcony by mistake. But it's all right. I've got hold of one end of it. I can pull it up by myself.
Who were you talking to just now?
To my little grandson. He's been in the bathroom for hours, and this time he came out. Do you have any children, my dear?
Oh, I do not.
Oh no! My escape route's gone. She's shut the balcony door. I'll be fed to the seagulls with the frogs.
What is it?
It is we ancient ones, your grandness.
We've come to collect the bottles you promised us. It's 6 o'clock.
Oh, no peace. I get no peace. Come in, come in. Do not stand out there dithering in the corridor. I don't have all night.
Thank you. Oh, wait.
I saw my chance. I jumped out from behind the bedpost and ran like lightning through the open door, clutching the precious bottle to my chest. I scampered down the corridor and up one flight of stairs. Outside my grandmother's room, I tapped on the door with the bottle. Would she hear me? Surely she must.
Oh, please hear it, Grandmamma. Please open the door. It's no good. I'll have to risk shouting. Grandmamma, let me in! Let me in! I've done it! I've done it, Grandmamma! Look, I've got a whole bottle of it.
Oh, my darling, come here. Thank heavens you're safe. Let me see Formula 86 Delayed Action Mouse Maker. This bottle contains 500 doses.
I thought I'd never see you again. I'm so happy you got away. Now then, it's 6:10. We've got until 8 o'clock to work out our next move.
Hello, Bruno. Still in the banana bowl, then?
That's quite enough. I think it's time we returned you to the bosom of your family, Bruno.
My parents let me eat as much as I want. I'd rather be with them than with you.
Of course you would. Do you know where they might be at this moment?
I saw them in the lounge when I dashed up here.
Right. Let's go and see if they're still there. Come on, I shall put you both in my handbag.
Ouch! Don't squeeze me.
Oh, sorry. There. I shall leave the clasp undone, but be sure to keep out of sight.
Have you seen Bruno recently, dear?
You know I haven't. I've been sitting here with you, reading the paper for the last hour.
I'm just a bit worried.
Well, worrying never got anyone anywhere.
I hope he isn't up to mischief.
Boys will be boys. Oh, good heavens, these share prices have taken a tumble.
Excuse me.
What?
Excuse me, are you Mr. and Mrs. Jenkins?
I'm Mr. Jenkins. What can I do for you, madam?
I'm afraid I have some rather alarming news for you.
Alarming news?
Yes, it is about your son, Bruno.
About Bruno?
Yes.
What's the little blighter been up to now? Raiding the kitchen, I suppose.
It's a bit worse than that. Do you think we might go up to your room?
What?
We need somewhere private.
I don't want to go up to my room, madam. I'm quite comfortable here, thank you very much.
Quite right, Hardiman. You tell her.
We really can't talk in here.
You'll kindly state your business and then leave us alone.
Quite right, Herbert.
There are too many people. This is a rather delicate and personal matter.
I'll talk what I dashed well want to, madam.
You tell her, Herbert.
Come on, now, out with it. If Bruno's broken a window or smashed your spectacles, then I'll pay for the damage, but I'm not budging out of this seat.
Quiet, dear. People are beginning to stir.
Well, where is he anyway? Tell him to come and see me.
He's in my handbag.
What the heck do you mean? He's in your handbag.
She's mad. She's quite balmy. Go and get Mr. Stringer, dear.
You trying to be funny?
There's nothing funny about this. Your son has suffered a rather unfortunate mishap.
Oh, he's always suffering mishaps.
Yes, mishaps are Bruno's speciality, aren't they, Herbert?
He suffers from overeating, and then he suffers from wind. You should hear him after supper. He sounds like a brass band.
Like a brass band.
But a good dose of castor oil soon puts him right.
Yes, castor oil sorts him out.
Where is the little beggar?
I have already told you he's in my handbag.
She's mad, I tell you.
But I do think it would be better if we went somewhere private before you meet him in his present state.
Go for Mr. Stringer, dear.
The plain fact is that your son Bruno has been drastically altered.
Go away, you're a silly old woman.
Altered? What do you mean altered?
I'm trying to tell you that Bruno really is in my handbag. My own grandson actually saw them doing it to him.
Saw who? Doing what to him, for heaven's sake?
Saw the witches turning him into a mouse.
Yes, this is too much. You must call Mr. Stringer, dear. Have this old woman thrown out of the hotel.
Oh, well, there's nothing for it. I will have to bring him out. Here is your son.
Oh!
A mouse! A mouse! I can't stand it! Take it away! Take it away!
You nasty, cheeky old woman! Get out of here! How dare you frighten my wife like that? Take your filthy mouse away this instant! All right, dear, all right. Don't show us up in front of all these people, for God's sake. When we got back to the bedroom, my grandmother took both me and Bruno out of her handbag and put us on the table.
Why on earth didn't you speak up and tell your father who you were?
Because I had my mouth full.
Huh. What a disagreeable boy you are.
Mouse?
Quite right, darling. But we don't have time to worry about him now. We have to make plans. In an hour's time, the witches will all go down to the dining room, and each one of them has to have a dose of mouse maker.
So a plan was hatched between the two of us. We decided that the best ruse was to put the mouse maker into the witch's food. So I was to be smuggled into the dining room in my grandmother's handbag. Then she would drop me onto the floor in her napkin and I would run to the kitchen. Bruno insisted on coming with us, but he was under strict instructions to remain in the bag.
Have you got the bottle? Yes. Keep still. Here comes the waiter.
A good evening, madam.
A good evening, William.
How is the little gentleman to date?
Oh, not feeling very well. He's staying in his room.
Oh, I am sorry to hear that. Today there is green pea soup to start with, and for the main course you have a choice of either a grilled fillet of sole or roast lamb.
A pea soup and lamb for me, please. But don't hurry. I'm in no rush, William. In fact, you can bring me a glass of dry sherry first.
Of course, madam.
My grandmother saw the table reserved for members of the RSPCC. She sat at her usual table, unfolded her napkin, took hold of me gently, and put me on the floor under the table.
Go, darling. Go.
I ran. I had to cross the main entrance to the dining room to get to the kitchen, and I was just about to do this when in poured a great flood of females. At first I saw only the shoes and ankles of these women, but when I glanced up a bit higher, I knew at once who they were.
Simply gone off the boil. I mean, I asked for a gin and tonic. Did you have a gin and tonic? I like gin and tonic, but I do like to taste the gin.
They were the witches coming in to dinner.
I
waited until they had all passed me by. Then I dashed on towards the kitchen door. A waiter opened it to go in. I nipped in after him and hid behind a garbage bin for several minutes. By golly, what a place that kitchen was!
4 soups and 2 lambs and 2 fish for table 28.
4 soups, was that?
That's what I said.
No need to be cheeky. Maria!
Yes, Cook.
Dish up that veg.
3 apple pies and 2 strawberry ice creams for number 17.
Hold on a minute. Who put these plates here? Who's done it? The plates do not go here. How many
I said
times
3
have I
apple pies and 2 strawberry
And I
ice creams.
said, hold on. Who's put these plates here?
Search me, look, I need those 3 apple pies.
Well, you'll have to wait. What do you think I am, a fairy?
A witch more like.
2 soups, table 24.
Maria, move those plates now.
Yes, Cook.
When am I going to get those apple pies?
When I'm ready.
3 fish table 7.
Maria, get the ice cream out, you idiot girl.
Yes, Cook.
3 fish, was that?
2 soups and 2 lambs, table 14. Please.
There's somebody else here.
Not far above my head, there was a handle sticking out from the side of the garbage bin. I gave a leap, turned a somersault, and caught hold of it with the end of my tail. It was such fun. Just like a trapeze
The
artist.
old hag on table 14 says the meat is too tough.
Bloomin' cheap.
She wants another portion.
She ought to learn to eat what she's given. Spoilt these guests off, you ask me. Spoilt rotten.
Everyone in the big RSPCC party wants a soup.
Right, put the soup for the big party in the large silver soup tureen.
It's the Rachel.
Come on, hurry up.
Don't worry about it, boy. Don't
Bring
get
this soup over here. I owed you the first time.
Now was my moment. I noticed that high up near the ceiling there was a long shelf crammed with saucepans and frying pans. I jumped up and hooked my tail around the handle of the garbage bin. Then, hanging upside down, I began to swing. Higher and higher I swung. Just at the right moment, at the top of my swing, I let go with my tail and went soaring clear across the kitchen and made a perfect landing on the shelf. By golly, I thought, what marvellous things a mouse can do. I was directly above the big empty silver soup tureen they were about to fill. I put down my bottle, unscrewed the top, and crept to the edge of the shelf. Then I quickly poured the mouse maker directly into the silver basin below.
Here we go. Soup for the big party going in now. William, take it away before it gets cold. Stop my lingering.
Come in.
Don't want more complaints.
2 apple pies and 3 ice creams, table 4.
Maria, are you an ice cream? We'll get a move on, girl.
Yes, Cook.
I swung from one saucepan handle to the next on my way down from the top shelf. I was having such a good time that I completely forgot I was in full view of anyone in the kitchen.
A mouse!
What?
Good grief, it's a wretched mouse!
In my kitchen?
Look, there's a little blind duck!
Get in! Cut off his tail!
Oh, you bet I will!
Catch it, quick!
There he goes! There he
Go
goes!
on.
No, Cook, please,
Get it!
Cook.
Stamp on it!
I'm trying! Oh, he's coming towards you, Cook!
Oh, jeepers creepers! He's gone up my trouser! I'll get him this time! Down!
He's
sticking his claws in. Holy smoke, it's going right up my leg. Oh, get out, you dirty little beast. Oh, push off. Ah, it's in my knickers. Help. Oh, no, get it out. It's running around in my flaming knickers. Someone help me to get it out.
Take off your trousers, you silly sod. Pull down your pants and we'll soon catch him.
I was in the middle of the man's pants now. It was dark and awfully hot in there. I dashed on and found the top of the other trouser leg. Down I went like greased lightning and came out at the bottom of it, and once again I was on the floor.
It's in my trousers, I'll tell you. Will somebody please get it out before he bites me?
They were so occupied with the cook's trousers that nobody saw me dash across the floor and dive into a sack of potatoes.
It's not in there.
No, it's definitely not there.
Oh, there's no mouse in your trousers, you silly twat.
There was. I swear there was.
Oh, get away with you.
You've never had a mouse in your trousers. You don't know what it feels like.
My tail hurt terribly. About 2 inches of it were missing, and it was bleeding quite a lot. But I had to get back to my grandmother. I leapt out of the potato sack and dashed clear across the floor and out through the door behind one of the waiters. I didn't stop running until I was underneath my grandmother's table.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure about the flavour.
It's lovely. It's almost toasty.
Hello, Grandmamma. I'm back. I did it. I poured it all into their soup.
Oh, well done, my darling. They are eating it at this very moment. Oh, your tail.
They cut it off with a carving knife.
You poor little thing. Let me wrap my handkerchief around it. There. Try and forget about it. I am going to put you into my handbag with Bruno.
Where is it?
Shh. Oh dear, here comes Mr. Jenkins.
Where is that grandson of yours? My guess is that he and my son are up to no good. My feeling is that you're in on this.
No, is that so?
I don't know who the devil you are, and I don't much care, but you played a nasty trick on us yesterday, so if you know where Bruno's hiding, kindly tell us at once.
That mouse I tried to give you was Bruno. You refused to take him in.
What the blazes do you mean, madam? My son is not a mouse.
He most certainly is.
Oh, yes, I am.
What?
Hello, Dad.
Bruno.
Don't worry. It's not as bad as all that. No more school. No more homework.
How did this happen?
Witches?
Witches?
The witches did it. That woman over there, the one in the black dress at the head of the long table, she did it to him.
She's the RSPCC. She's the chairwoman.
No, she's not. She's the grand high witch of all the world.
By Gad, I'd have my lawyers onto her for this. I'll make her pay.
Oh, I wouldn't do anything rash. She might turn you into a cockroach.
Well, turn me into a cockroach. We'll soon see about that.
What's happening?
It's the Grand High Witch. She just shot up in the air. She's on the tabletop now, darling. It's started.
What's going on? Oh, my word, I feel all stiff. I am all stiff. They're shrinking, Grandmamma. They're shrinking just like I did.
I know they are.
I'm growing forever. So am I. Look at Monica. She's covered in it. And whiskers. Oh, whatever's happening. We're turning into mice. Why is it working so quickly?
Because all of them have had massive overdoses.
Mice! The place is overrun with mice. Help!
I'll get them, madam. Just you see. Send for the cook. Send for the carving knife.
Cook!
Send for the manager. Send for Mr. Stinger.
Oh, it's time to go. Our work is done, darling. Mr. Jenkins, here's your little boy. He needs to go on a diet.
Hi, Dad. Hi, Mum.
Hotel Magnificent.
There we
I
are,
can help
madam.
you.
2 adjoining rooms. First floor, turn right at the top of the stairs. The porter will take your bags. Super. If you just sign the book. Super. Please feel free to make full use of all the hotel has to offer. Breakfast is served between 7:30 and 9 o'clock.
To my delight, after this ordeal, my grandmother took me back to Norway, where we had always been so happy. Now that I was a mouse, of course, everything in the old house looked different, and it took me quite a while to find my way around. But we would have our supper by the fire, my grandmother in her chair, and me on the table with my cheese on a small plate. We were very happy.
Tell me, my darling, are you sure you don't mind being a mouse for the rest of your life?
I don't mind at all. It doesn't matter who you are or what you look like, so long as somebody loves you.
Well, now, I have some rather interesting news for you. As soon as we arrived back in Norway, I telephoned the Chief of Police in Bournemouth.
Why?
I told him I was the Chief of Police for Norway and that I was interested in the peculiar happenings that had taken place recently in the Hotel Magnificent.
You didn't?
Oh, yes. I asked him for the name and address of the lady who'd been living in room 454, and naturally he gave it to me.
I don't believe it.
So, this means that I now have the address of the headquarters of the Grand High Witch.
Grandmamma!
It is a castle, and in that castle will be all the names and addresses of all the witches in the world.
Where is the castle? Which country? Tell me quick.
Guess.
Norway!
Yes. So, you and I have work to do. A great task ahead of us. Thank heavens you are a mouse. A mouse can go anywhere. All I have to do is to put you down somewhere near the Grand High Witch's castle, and you will very easily be able to get inside it and creep around.
I will.
And your job will be to destroy every witch in the place.
How?
Mouse Maker. Formula 86, delayed action mouse maker.
But they'll all become talking, thinking, intelligent mouse witches, Grandmamma, and that could be very dangerous.
By golly, you're right.
I couldn't take on a castle of mouse witches.
They would have to be got rid of at once.
I've got it! I know!
What?
The answer is cats.
It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. 6 cats in the castle, and they'll kill every mouse in the place in 5 seconds.
Right. But you'll have to make sure I'm well out of the way myself before you put the cats in.
That's a promise.
What will we do after the cats have killed all the mice?
Well, then you and I will move into the castle.
And then?
And then we shall go through the records and get the names and addresses of all the witches in the whole wide world. We shall pack our bags and go travelling. In every country we shall seek out the houses where witches are living. You will creep inside and leave your little drops of mouse maker in the bread, or the cornflakes, or the rice pudding. It will be a triumph, my darling. We shall do it entirely by ourselves, just you and me. That will be our work for the rest of our lives.
But what fun it's going to be.
Ha! You can say that again. Come here, my darling. Let me give you a kiss. I can't wait to get started.